We're in for a heck of a treat again today here because we are here with my good buddy Todd Stillberg, the founder of Antler King himself. And what we're going to talk about is we're going to pick his beautiful brain about antler development. I'm telling you, I know a whole heck of a lot of people who've invested a ridiculous amount of time and effort into figuring it out. None more than this man right here. Todd, educate us on what it takes for that buck to grow the most impressive set of antlers he possibly can.
You know, it's so simple. It's age, genetics, and nutrition. The thing that I think is fantastic is that we can control two of those three. We can control really, obviously the nutrition through food plots, supplemental feeding where legal, and so on. Age, you know, if you and your neighbors are willing to let some of these younger bucks go and let them grow, wow, you know, we can produce some super, super deer. As far as genetics go, you know, we really can't influence genetics. It's pretty tough in a non-high fence situation. But you know, at the end of the day, if you've got a 3.5-year-old buck, for example, that looks like just a rock star, 150 inches or better, and then you've got an 8-pointer that's 4 or 5 years old and he's 120 inches, boy, do yourself a favor and shoot that 8-point that's, you know, pretty much maxed out his genetics. He's not going to turn into a 150 or 60 inch 8-point at age 6. So let that 3.5-year-old go, let him grow, and there's that deer that could hit 170 or above.
Well, and you bring up a fascinating point right there, and that is shooting that older, smaller racked buck. Social stress.
Absolutely.
Social stress plays such a key role in the health of all, but yet it's almost never talked about at all.
No, and I have seen this firsthand a number of times where we've got some old 5- and 6-year-old brutes that are 8-pointers, for example, and all they want to do is fight. They're huge-bodied deer, and all they're doing is making life miserable for these great 2- and 3- and 4-year-old up-and-comers. And so that's something we have tried to do here the last few years, and it is making a huge difference. We had a deer on one of the farms I have, and it turned out to be a 183-inch deer. And he was on our farm throughout the summer for the last 2 years, most of the time throughout the fall, and this past fall, he was there every day for the first week in October. I got him on camera. And he started intruding into an area where there was a great big physical 8-point. And I think he just said, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm tired of getting pushed around. Boom, he left and got shot.
And for what it's worth, I see that play out on cameras mid-October after mid-October after mid-October after mid, and it's not that brute 4.5, 5.5, 110, 115-inch 8-point that's leaving. Please, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but something I've long believed. And I mean, I think it's just to a great extent, a simple math problem. You have X amount of inputs. That's the food, the nutrition.
Sure.
Okay. It's only going to produce so much. And if it's not that antlers, those racks, take so darn much energy, that 110, 115-inch 4.5-year-old, 5.5-year-old 8-point, he ain't putting much energy into this.
No.
It's all going to this.
Right.
And as I said, correct me, this here does not do anything to dictate dominance.
No, good point. But those physically huge older bucks are making life miserable on some of the younger guys. And that is something that social stress that, you know, isn't talked about. It didn't really occur to me, honestly, years ago, but seeing it firsthand now year after year is really, I see it making a huge difference.
That is exceptional.
Yeah.
Final thoughts brought to you by Huntworth. What we're talking about when it comes to producing the biggest racks you can, we're talking genetics. We can't control that.
No.
But we can take out some of those older bullies if we do choose. We're talking nutrition. And we're talking year-round nutrition, aren't we?
Absolutely. Yep.
And the nutritional needs are going to change throughout the year, so you try to do your best to address those. And you're talking age.
Yep.
You add those things together, and that is what produces that tremendous rack.
It is. It really is. And when we talk nutrition, you mentioned, I think nutrition, I think 24/7, 365. Really focus on high protein, high energy sources in the spring, throughout the summer during that antler growth period. So we're helping the bucks grow antlers, but we're also helping the does, produce more milk and healthier milk for the fawns. We're providing high protein, high energy for those fawns to develop a skeletal structure and so on. But boom, then deer season comes on, the rut is in swing. After we get through that rut, we really need to focus on high energy food sources to get the weight back on that buck.
Especially for your Midwest and Northern herd,
Yes.
when they're about to enter the hardest, most challenging phase of their entire life, and that's over winter, where they're generally running a negative energy balance to begin with. And they just went through the rut and all the holy terror that did to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And really Mother Nature, won't allow those bucks to devote nutrients to antler growth until they get their weight back. So, don't just think about nutrition spring, summer, fall. It's 24/7, 365.
Todd, thank you for making us all a bit smarter today.
Thank you.